Hey, welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to show you photos taken from about an hour walking around the Brisbane CBD with this X Pro2. I'm not only going to show you the keepers, but I'm actually also going to show you some of the photos that didn't make the cut, but I'm going to share why they didn't and what could have been improved to make them better photos. So you're definitely going to learn something, so stick around. Adam from BNE Lens, and I realize it's probably really long overdue that I do a video about street photography here in Brisbane. I've actually been putting it off for a while because I couldn't actually figure out how am I going to go about doing this, because I'm working on my own, so actually juggling the video and the photography, taking photos at the same time, thought it'd be a bit of a challenge. I was going to wait till I got a GoPro or something like that so I could just strap it on and walk around, take some photos, but I realized I really can't delay any longer, so let's just see how this goes. Street photography here in Brisbane can be a bit of a challenge, and that's probably another reason why I've been procrastinating. But today I'm going to do it. I'm going to walk around, try and get some good photos and see if we can learn something in the process. Let's do it. Almost immediately after leaving King George Square, I walked into Queen Street Mall, and to the left is a laneway that leads down to Brew Cafe and Bar. I noticed a woman sitting on a milk crate having a cigarette, and between her feet was a bottle of something in a brown paper bag. I thought, if I can get the moment that the woman takes a swig out of that bottle with the sign for brew in the background, that could make an interesting photo. So I stood at the entrance of the laneway and just out of the corner of my eye watched the woman as she was smoking, and sure enough, eventually she reached down and grabbed the paper bag. That was my moment. So I squatted down and took the moment as the woman was drinking. The light was quite nice, and I thought, okay, I've got an image. It's not perfect. It would be a little bit better if I'd moved a little bit more to the left so that the brew sign was in the top left-hand corner rather than more central with the woman in the bottom right. Just would have been a nicer composition, but it was a good start to the day. I actually took another photo about a minute later when the woman took another swig from the bottle, and it shows you the difference it makes when the sun goes behind a cloud. Just look at the difference of these two side by side. What a difference the light makes. It really separates the woman from the background in the one with the sunlight and makes her stand out in the image, rather than kind of blending in a little bit when the sun was behind the clouds. Just shows what an important thing light is when you're doing street photography. In the intersection of Queen Street and Albert Street, in the middle of Queen Street Mall, is a fountain. And this fountain had some people around it, and I thought, okay, maybe we'll get some interesting images here. There was a woman holding her child over the water of the fountain, and the child was loving it, was reaching out and playing with the water and giggling and having a great time. And I thought, oh, this could be interesting. So I took a couple of photos, but I realized that from the angle I was standing, you couldn't actually see the expressions on the woman or her child's face. And really, those expressions are what would have really brought the magic to the image. So this image here, from behind them, really, it's not a great image. I mean, it's in focus, and it's okay on that front, but in terms of being a good photo, well, for me, you can have street photography that's informational. That is, it just tells you, here is a person, this is what they look like, here is something that's happening. Okay, a man is drinking a cup of coffee. Oh, a woman is walking down the street. Oh, somebody's looking in the window at jewelry. That's information. What makes really good photography is emotion rather than information. You want a photo that's going to make somebody feel something rather than just know something. So this is informational. This lets you know something. Okay, this woman was at Queen Street Mall and having fun with her kid. but it doesn't really make you feel much. So I'm like, okay, I want to get the feels in it. So how do I do that? Well, if I can get the expressions of the child who's enjoying the water so much, that will bring the feeling. So I moved around to the other side so that I could capture the faces. And that's when I got this one. Now, I like this image. For me, this is a keeper. You can see the expressions, the mood, the feeling, you know, you feel the pure joy of the child. You know, technically it's okay, you know, everything's in focus that should be in focus. But the important thing is that it's got the feeling, that joy, and you know, it's the connection of a mother with her child, and it's also the excitement of a child. It's something so simple as a stream of water, but they can feel so excited about it, and you can feel that sense of fun and excitement when you look at the image. So for me, that's what makes this a successful image. So I was happy that, okay, at least I've got one image I can be happy with. But you know, with street photography, there's always that quest to drive on and push for something more, something better. So I moved in the same direction. Going from the fountains, I moved further up the Queen Street Mall next to the Maya Centre, because there was a spot that I noticed there that had really nice light. So the light was absolutely beautiful in this spot, because there was an awning that had the sun shining through it, but the awning was translucent, so it was diffusing the light. So you had this direct sunlight, but it was diffused, so it had a nice soft nature to it. But because of the shadows and because the sun was so bright, it still had a really contrasty scene. So it was contrasty, but the softness of the light made it just a little more magical. So I really liked that spot. So what I often do is find places that have this beautiful light and try to wait for something interesting to happen in that place. So I'm basically setting the stage, I've got the lighting set, and I'm waiting for my players to walk onto the stage. So I waited and I waited, and in the end, just didn't really happen. You know, I got some near misses, almost got some interesting photos, but not quite. Here's the ones that I did take when the sun was out. Okay, so this one, I was looking at the photo of the woman in the store window and hoping there could be some interaction with the people in front. Didn't really get it with this one, and the thing that really ruined it for me, even though it could have been an, you know, okay kind of photo, not going to be anything special, but something that maybe I might keep, except that this woman with her grey pants leg here that was catching the light really draws the attention away. And I don't really like to edit out those kinds of things when I'm doing street photography, because street photography is really about capturing, you know, it's almost documentary in nature. You don't want to be playing around and changing things and cloning things out. At least I don't. So because of that pants leg, this goes from being a mediocre photo to a bad one. That really ruins it for me. So that one's out. Then this one. Now this one, oh, this is my favorite one that's not a good photo, because they were just at the edge of the light that was coming through the awning. So it was just illuminating them much more softly than if they'd have been another meter to the right. But the problem is my composition here. I was hoping that there would be a nice moment one step forward, but I did take this one before the moment I was actually waiting for, just in case. But I like this moment because the expression on the girl's face and the gesture of her hand, there's just something intriguing about it. It makes me wonder what she's thinking, what she's saying, what she's doing, what's going through her mind. There's just something mysterious about it that makes me want to know what's happening. And that's another thing that would make a good street photo. Unfortunately, bad composition can detract from that. And that's what happens here. Because the two people, their position ruins the photo. Because there's so much empty space to the right of them, ahead of them, and they're so close to the edge on the left that it's quite claustrophobic, and they're squeezed in there, and there's nothing in half of the photo that gives us any feeling and gives us anything worth looking at. So had I composed this exact moment in time a little more to the left so that there was more room behind the two of them and a little bit less room in front of them, still more in front than behind, but not quite, they want for them to be just a little more into the scene, that might have actually been a nice image that I would be happy with. Unfortunately, this is a fail as well. Finally, at that spot, this moment, a couple of girls running out. One's got this bright yellow balloon, which can be visually quite cool. They're both wearing light colors, so when the light hits them, they're going to stand out from the dark background. But again, is just not quite there. The girl at the back isn't quite far enough into the light to be illuminated enough. Again, I could bring that up in Photoshop, but I don't like to do that for street photography. I'm not against editing, but when you're making local adjustments that are perhaps taking away from the authenticity of the moment, when we're actually beginning to change the actual light that was there, that's when I'm not really into it. I do adjust contrast, brightness, the levels. I might throw some curves on there, but when it comes to changing the authenticity of the scene, that's when I'm going to be taking a step back from processing when it comes to street photography. Anyway, so this one, again, not quite there, but the light was there. So had that beautiful, magic, perfect moment happened when I was there, then I might have had a really amazing photo. But that's the challenge of street photography. It's like fishing, you never know when you're going to get that big one. Sometimes you go fishing and you don't catch a single thing. You enjoy the process, you enjoy the relaxation or whatever, but if you're just going for the fish, you might quit fishing if you don't catch anything for the first couple of times you go. But if you enjoy the process, then it means you're going to keep doing it, and one of those days you're going to get a big one. You're going to get that big fish, or in the case of street photography, that perfect magical moment that you've captured with your camera. It's never going to happen again, and you've got that, and there's no feeling like it. So this day, well, at that particular spot, didn't happen for me, but I'll go back. There's the hunger now to find that light again and wait for the magical moment, because I know it's going to happen. All right, moving on. So one problem that street photographers often have is that they walk the same streets again and again, and it starts getting repetitive and monotonous, and they start losing their inspiration because it's difficult to see things in a fresh way. So one thing that you can do if that starts to happen to you is keep your eye out for any changes, anything that is fresh or new. Just like behind me here. That tunnel there wasn't there the last time I came by, and it's something to do with the construction for a new metro line or something like that. But the thing is that I've never seen this spot before. The colors are new, the lines are new, everything is new, so I can use that to see the city in a new light and maybe get some inspiration to take some fresh street photos. So I'm going to give that a go now. I wasn't really feeling much inspiration shooting around the entrance to the tunnel, so I thought I'd go inside and have a look around. And I kind of liked the arrows that they had on the sides of the walls, telling pedestrians what direction to go in. Being a bit of a nonconformist myself, I wanted to maybe make a photo of people going in the opposite direction to the arrows. So I kind of just hung around and waited for people to walk past, see if I could catch any interesting people moving in interesting ways, but also in the opposite direction to the arrows. I did get this one, but it was nothing really amazing. It was just the closest that I came to anything good. but it's definitely something that I will return to see if I can get something better than what I did on the day. That was pretty much my time. I didn't have a lot of time to spend in the city that day, but enough to, you know, get a couple of okay kind of photos and to share with you what it's like walking around taking photos in Brisbane. So I'll probably leave it there. Really appreciate you watching this far. Definitely be sure to subscribe. If you want more videos that are related to street photography, let me know. Or if you'd prefer something else, also let me know. You know, I aim to please. I want to make videos that you're going to be interested in watching. Of course, subscribe if you're not already. Give it a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, got something out of it. If you thought it was bad, then let me know in the comments what sucked about it. You know, your feedback is definitely welcome. Otherwise, be sure to stick around and watch the next video that I put up, and I'll see you then. And I noticed a woman sitting on a milk crate smoking, and she had a bottle of something in a brown paper bag between her legs, and, oh, between her feet probably sounds better. Yeah, I might start that again.